All right, guys. Looks like we got Coach on here, and so we'll be efficient with everybody's time and get going. So, Coach, if you just want to start with an opening statement, and then we'll open it up for questions.
Hey, guys. Thanks for being here this morning. Um, Looking ahead this week, we got a game against Troy on Wednesday. We'll hopefully have a game on Sunday. We're working hard to schedule a game right now. I will announce that here hopefully in the next 24, 48 hours, but that's the plan, is to try to play an opponent on Sunday. Odie Oguama and J.R. Mathis are still day-to-day in COVID protocol. I want to congratulate Coach Hoover on a great weekend in Florida. I'm sure she's excited. I haven't had a chance to talk to her, but coming back with wins over Davidson and Missouri State. Really happy for her and her team. Glad to be 2-0. That was the plan going in. Like to have been 3-0. Like to have played 3, but I think, as you guys have understood, this is not going to be a regular season, and so we're going to have to be adaptable. But happy, to be 2-0. But it's never as good as you think it is. It's never as bad as you think it is, in my opinion. And so after watching film of the game Friday, first of all, I want to reiterate, I thought the coach Aldrich did a really good job with his team. It was a good test because they ran their offense. It wasn't a lot of times early games are kind of hully-gully, kind of disjointed. I thought they really stuck to their plan. Offensively, they made passes. They went deep in the shot clock, but you don't see a lot maybe early, especially in non-league games. So I thought it was a really good test by a really well-coached team. I thought our guards got way too extended defensively. They melted in the ball screen, no physicality whatsoever in getting through the ball screen. That put a lot of pressure on our bigs in situations where the guards got downhill on them. That's why some of them got in foul trouble. And a lot of it was just because we were too extended. We got to get the game plan into the game. We blew a lot of switches. Obviously, we're a like-sized team. We had a plan going in to switch the dribble handoffs and help each other through on the quick pass, quick ball reversal. We didn't do that, especially early. We got to finish possessions on defense. Doesn't do any good to defend for 21 seconds and then give up an easy basket or an offensive rebound when you've done a pretty good job for the entirety of the possession. I don't think we did a good job of getting 50-50 balls on the rebounding. A lot of those rebounds we could have had, we just didn't get them. And I think offensive execution has got to improve. We're still driving the drive. We got to drive, kick, swing more. We got too many my-turn shots. And we got assist-turnover ratio wasn't good against Longwood. So we got a lot of improving to do. I took a long time to watch the film. At the first media timeout, we're up 7-5. And I thought we had 7 possessions on defense and 7 possessions were bad. 6 possessions on offense, 1 possession was good. It's not very good. I didn't think we had a very good possession defensively till 9:22 left in the first half. So if you guys would like to ask questions, fire away.
Did you say the first good possession was with 9:22 left in the first half, or 9:22 gone in the first half?
Left.
You mentioned Odie Oguama still being in the protocol. Do you have any idea of timing on that?
Nope, I don't.
If he was available tomorrow,
No, he
how
won't.
long would it take him to even get ready?
I don't know. I'll leave it up. When the doctors tell me he can play is when he'll play. I'm not going to guess. I'm not going to speculate. When the doctor tells me that he can play, that's when he'll play.
Steve, you mentioned after the game on Friday night that you felt like Ish and Zay were kind of pressing, and I was wondering if it's better to have conversations with those guys, or if it's better to just let it play out and let them play their way out of it.
I think both. I really like those guys. They're very conscientious. But I think for some, whatever reasons, they're maybe pressed a little too hard. It's not that they don't care. And so I think they're also guys that I can talk to, and I have. But I also think it's something you have to see film. We had a really long film session. I don't usually do that. But early in the year, sometimes you have to. So last night was very long film. And I don't always run it. A lot of times we got to go quick turnarounds. I let the person who does the scout do it, with the team, and I move on. But I haven't watched Troy yet. There's only 2 games to watch. We'll get that in today. We don't put the scout in until 48 hours, basically. Well, 2 days before. And so, it's just one of those things. Yeah, I think it's both. I think it's something we got to talk to them, and I think we got to watch film.
And specifically with Isaiah, has he or has Randolph said that that's been a little bit of an issue in the past?
I haven't worried about the past.
Okay.
Steve, kind of on an OD related note, I know guys get injured or have something like that and go away from the team. Team finds rhythm without that guy until they come back. But I wonder if there's more concern with it being OD and it being so early in the season when this team is still trying to figure out maybe its identity and how it fits together and plays.
Not really. Injuries and sickness are part of it. It's just the way I don't get caught up in that. We have to keep moving forward and find ways to win, find ways to play without him, whoever it is, not just Odie. And so I feel for him. Yeah, I mean it's hurt him, missing mono, right, and then missing on this. It's tough, but I can't sit here and worry, and think about what if. We have to find ways to improve, and we have to find the best way for this team to win, each night we step on the court, with or without him. And so, yeah, I mean, would I love to have him? Sure I would. Well, we got 9 guys averaging 12 or more minutes. We probably have 10, but we don't. And so we just got to keep moving and figure it out.
Steve, congrats on the 2-0 start. I wanted to ask about the hometown transfers, Isaiah Wilkins and Davian. How valuable has their experience been? Davian playing for you for 2 years at East Tennessee State, and then Isaiah having 2 years of ACC play behind him after transferring from Virginia Tech.
After watching the film,
chemistry.
I doubt Davian probably would want to say that he did play for me. I don't think he played very well. And so, he's probably not real happy this morning, but he's a good kid and he's a tough kid, and he made a couple tough shots late. Got, when we needed a couple baskets against Longwood, I thought he stepped up and made a couple plays, but it's been really nice to have him. He can be a coach on the floor, especially in practice, because he has a pretty good feel for what I want. As far as daily routine and on the court. He's become more verbal, which is not something that is really natural to him, but he's getting better at it. He's, he's got things to improve on. And, of course, I know him better. And this is my 3rd year with him. Mm-hmm. So some of the things that stick out in my mind that he's got to continue to improve on, he's got to get tougher in the ball screen defense. And he's not the only one. All of our guards just melt when they get screened. They got to be a lot tougher getting through the ball screen. They're putting way too much pressure on our bigs. Initial ball screen is 2x2, not 1x1. It's 2x2, the guard and the big, not just the big. And so, but he's been really good. And I think it's been great for him to be close to home and be with his family and, and friends. I think those things are important. Isaiah Wilkins has been, we've asked him to play a couple different positions early, the 3 and the 4. He struggled with that a little bit. So about 2 and a half, 3 weeks ago, I asked him, I'm just talking about offense, learning plays. I just put him at the 4. He hasn't really run much 3. Now, he's going to have to probably with some mismatched lineups, as you saw we had with guys getting in foul trouble. But, again, knowledgeable players, been around. He's played for 3 coaches in college, which he's probably got some brain clutter sometimes, trying to figure out who said what or whose terminology he's trying to get used to. But I think both those guys have done a really good job, and I'm happy for them to be, at home playing in front of friends and family.
Steve, have you noticed what you saw in the weeks of practice leading up to the season translating to the floor the first two games? You hear coaches talk about guys played differently when the lights turn on. I wonder, in the age of COVID, if you've seen a pretty consistent translation versus practice to game.
I mean, I think we've tried hard to stay on brand, stay in identity. Not perfect, but it wasn't a situation where the first game or the second game I was like, what in the world's going on? What are these guys doing? We didn't do that. Now, that's going to happen for any team. Occasionally, you're going to say, what's going on? Why do we do that? I didn't think I had a lot of those moments the last two games. I'm proud of them for that. I think they know who we want to be. It's just a matter of getting there. And I like the camaraderie on our team, the chemistry. I said it. So what night we play? Friday. I like the fact we got punched in the mouth and we didn't fold. A lot of teams fold when they get popped in the mouth. Especially in a game like that where maybe, you think you're supposed to win, which that's the wrong mentality. I talk a lot about every year there's upsets in college basketball, right? We've already had them. You guys are the experts. You pick the winners. We still got to play the games. And when I was at East Tennessee State, I made every week I'd go to practice with my players and tell them, okay, these are the scores of some team. And I did it with my guys. You have to respect the game. You have to respect your team, the team that you're playing. I thought we did that. I think it showed how hard we played. We just didn't always execute in the right manner, but I think we're on the right path.
Steve, now you've had a chance to evaluate the tape. Are you even more glad that your team faced some adversity because you got that quality tape to review the last couple of days and cover with your team?
Yeah, Les. I mean, I don't know if there would have been a lot of value winning 2 games by 60 points. I mean, we're not the Los Angeles Lakers. Let's be real here, okay? And so, yeah, I mean, I was happy to win Wednesday and win by a lot. I mean, shoot, made my life a lot easier. But it's not realistic, right? And I know each game, I know what we're facing coming in the ACC. So you want to be tested, but you also have to have some confidence. It's a fine line when you take over a new program, new people, new players, in the middle of a pandemic, all this stuff. These guys got to have some confidence too. It's important. When you practice hard as we do and you're doing the things that we do, they got to have some confidence. And I got to give them confidence, which I have no problem doing. I don't know if you've noticed, but in games, I'm pretty positive. I'm not a guy that gets all over them. I'm a little more animated. But I think it's important that, that they have confidence and swagger going in there. And I thought it was good to get popped in the mouth, Les. I did. I liked it. I liked the way we bounced back. I liked the way we fought, to get the lead again and win the game against a team that I thought did a good job executing their stuff, staying in their game plan and not just going one-on-one, which a lot of times I think this time of year you get.
Coach, you mentioned Isaiah Mucius is a very vocal leader for you guys, but he was a little quiet on the stat sheet in these first 2 games. So do you anticipate needing more for him on the performance level aside from the leadership?
Well, of course, Lauren. I mean, he wants to play better. I mean, nobody wants to go out there and not, I think it goes back to he cares, and I think you probably sometimes you put a little too much pressure on yourself to make some things happen. And I think more with Zay is just let it happen, and guys, my teams have always been very balanced. share the ball is really important. And I think sometimes with Zay, the last 2 games, the ball's kind of stopped, and he's tried to make plays when they aren't there. I showed him this on film last night. He'll adjust. He's a smart kid. And but yeah, we obviously need more out of him. He's a talented player, but it's not all going to be relying on him either. We need guys stepping up that we had step up. I was proud of Jonah. Jonah came in there and sparked us, and not just offensively, made some really good plays on defense, turned defense into offense, and Ian made some plays, and but I also showed Ian where he's got to get better defensively. He wasn't good defensively, but he was really good on offense.
Coach, kind of picking up on that, you mentioned defensively that you want them to really guard for the whole shot clock and your guards to really fight through those ball screens. Are those the 2 biggest things you see on defense, or what else do you see on defense that you need to fix?
Well, I think what I said a little bit, Eddie, getting the game plan into the game, not doing your own thing. I felt like we randomly switched a few times, and that doesn't seem like a big thing maybe at the time, but when the ball goes up on the glass, maybe we got the wrong guy blocking out the wrong guy because we switched on something we didn't really need to be switching on to. Okay. I think we're not very strong in the gaucho, and that gaucho is the guy at the rim, the help guy, and that's a guard a lot of times. And those baseline drives, we're not letting the ball go middle, even though it did. When that gaucho comes, he's got to stop the ball. And I thought 2 or 3 times against Longwood, we bailed on charges. Could have stayed in there, but we took one hand and swiped at it, missed it, fouled, or they got a layup, or we let them turn the corner in the baseline and throw what I call a hammer pass to the corner. We don't want to give up that pass. And so I think stronger help, more physical help, taking charges in the help. I think that's another area where we can see major improvement pretty quick. And then I think just finishing the play. There was some occasions where we did pretty well, multiple efforts for, I don't know, whoever, 20 seconds, whatever it was when they shot it. But you got to finish the play. You got to go get the ball. And you'll say, well, we're not very big. That doesn't matter. There was a lot of times, guys, we had 3 guys inside of 2 guys and didn't get the ball. You got to go get it. And I don't know if there's a drill for that one. Go get it. Or you find somebody that can, And so those are some things that I think this week, you try to continue to get better at. And, you hope that you do it in the game, putting the game plan into the game.
Hey, Steve, I wanted to ask you just what's been your general approach with the 6-man position? Because I know you said the offense, it kind of works because it goes toward the hot hand, and I wonder if maybe that's the approach when you're looking for that guy to come off the bench and make an impact in a given game.
Ethan, I don't really look at it as a 6-man. I look at 9 guys, 10 guys. I think they should play till they get tired. And I think what happens sometimes is we stay out there a little too long. I don't handle all the substitutions. BJ does a lot of them. Now I have what they like to call overcall, I guess you'd like to say. I've been known to say, get his ass out. Now I've been known to say, get your ass in there. But I don't really look at it that way, Ethan. Like, we got 8. I know 9 or 10 9 guys right now. 10 are going to play. So it really just kind of goes down to how you're playing, and if you're tired, or if you have foul trouble, or now some guys do better starting. Some guys do better coming off the bench. I've had some times in my career where my leading scorers come off the bench, but that's just because maybe he wasn't as good defender, and I wanted to start with a better defensive team. I don't think we figured that out yet. And I think what I just said to you, we're up 7-5. I don't know, 6 under the first media timeout, but I don't think we've done maybe one thing correctly. So maybe we got to fix that. Execution, defensively, and maybe we don't have the right guys starting. I don't know. We'll figure that out as we go. But I'm not a guy that's going to start, if it start one team at the beginning of the year and go the whole season with the same team, they're going to earn it every day. And so I don't really quite look at it like a 6-man. I just look at, we got 8, 9, 10 guys we're going to play just depending on the game. Come on, guys.
Yeah,
What else you got?
You guys all good?
I've got one. Steve, what did it mean? I'm sure you're not paying attention during the games, but to know that your first 2 games, Chris Paul and Ish Smith are in the stands watching when there's not many people allowed in the stands.
Yeah, I was aware of Chris, being here because I met him in the weight room. He was down there working out all week, and so I had a chance to visit with him a little bit. I didn't know Ish was at the game till one of you Twitter heads tweeted it. I didn't even know. But, it's great to have all players come back, right? This is a player program. I think I said that before, and I'll say it again. It's really about the players, not the coaches. Coaches come and go. This is their program for life. And I love the fact that they want to come back and be a part of it. And they know these doors are always going to be open when I'm here. And you don't have to have played in the NBA to be that person either. Okay. There's a lot of great players that have played here, very successful in life that in other areas that are always welcome. But yeah, to have those guys, here and to get words of encouragement from them, I think it's really important. And I think it's important that hopefully, we get back to some type of normal where, they can visit with our players, and I think that's the most impactful thing is when they can talk to the kids, and they can see, my guys can see success past here. And so, yeah, I think it's great anytime our players come back, and it was great to have those guys. And like I said, I didn't see Ish. I didn't know he was here. It's like it's almost like going to a hockey game, I guess. I don't know. I've never been to a hockey game I shouldn't be saying this because I've never been to one, but it looks like to me you're kind of caged in that plexiglass, right? And you can't really talk. You can't really see each other, and it's weird. And I think we've done an unbelievable job. You guys are in there. The environment's awesome for what we can and can't do. It's just a little odd sometimes, and maybe that's why you're seeing some upsets, because how many real home court advantages are there going to be this year? It's not going to kind of be the same, with a full house. I would like to have a full house when we were on a run Friday night. Sometimes those are worth a couple points. I've seen it happen. I've seen that crowd melt the other team sometimes. And that's what I'm looking forward to is that, and that motorcycle guy, that deal, that loud noise. It's like when I went to, I know I'm rambling here, but I remember the first time I was at Oklahoma State, I was sitting on a bench about like this and warm ups, like watching our guys, and all of a sudden old Pistol Pete started shooting that gun off. Yeah, it scared the living shit out of me. All right. He started going, and I was sitting right there, and I was like, whoa, I want that. I want that type of electricity in the Joel. And,
we need to get you to a hockey game sometime, it sounds like. But give me a sense for non-conference scheduling, because goodness, people are doing it on the fly. You got Mike Bray on Twitter saying we'll play anybody, maybe even a pickup team. I don't know, but how much is it driven on personal relationships that you've built to try and get these games together?
Probably a little bit. It's availability too, right? And then getting here and protocol. There's a lot of things that go into it. I thought it was interesting. Billis wanted them to play Carver, off the White Shadow. Carver High School. He tweeted that out for Bray. But the funny thing about Billis was actually in the White Shadow. And I'm so old, you guys probably don't know what the White Shadow is. Maybe some of you do. But Billis actually appeared in the White Shadow. So you can go back. He actually tweeted that would be a good game for Notre Dame to play. I think everything's on the table with the schedule, right? It's just trying to find somebody who's available, who can get here, and who can get through the protocols. And we got to do the same, right? You know, we tested this morning and we keep testing, you know, and relationships help. You know, Frank Davis, you know, that's pretty much been his job since this thing started, you know, when we finally announced when we were going to play and how many games and all that. He spends a lot of time on the phone with that. And so I was happy just to get 2 games, you know, this past weekend. Hopefully we can get some more, you know, but it's fluid. It's extremely fluid. And, you know, just trying to match people up. It's interesting how they've done it. And, you know, some of those teams have been in a bubble or a quote unquote bubble. I don't know if you can actually call it a bubble, but, and then just decided to play. I think Virginia Tech just did that with Villanova. You know, Villanova might be regretting that decision right now. Who knows? I don't think they are. You know, early in the year, you know, you play. And so, yeah, it's pretty fluid.
Hey, Steve, I know you haven't installed the game plan yet, but what do you know? What can you tell us about Troy on Wednesday?
Yeah, you know, I know Scott Cross Les pretty well. I've always respected him as a coach. His teams always play really hard. I don't know a lot about him. Typically, by now, maybe I had watched one game, but I spent a lot of time Sunday on us. Saturday, I had to buy a Christmas tree. It's really important. Yeah, I hadn't done that. We actually had same Christmas tree since 1990, I believe. So it was important purchase by the Forbes family. So I didn't get right to the tape. You know, I was on the tape all day Sunday, less. But you know, I think just listening to my staff. You know, they're going to play some multiple defenses, man, some zone, some pressure, switch. They'll post up our guards, which will be something different than what we've seen. So there's a lot of things on the scout day, just routine wise at 11 a.m. I meet with the person in charge of the scout and Coach Woodley sits in. And then at noon, I meet with the staff and go over the scouts. We're all on the same page. When we go to practice, I plan to practice. We go to the practice. We watch the clip tape before practice, and then we practice. And then the next day, we typically just we'll practice, and then we'll watch the tape after. And a lot of times, we clip practice guarding their actions. And so our guys can see it, how we're doing it in practice. And then on game day, we have game day routine, and then we watch the film one more time. We'll watch probably as a team 3 or 4 times before we play them. So that process is going to start here shortly.
All right, that'll wrap you up, Coach.
All right, guys, appreciate you. Be safe out there. Eat your leftovers.
See you guys.
Thanks, Coach. Thanks, Will, Lucy.